Stay put, people, because we have a controversy that is more intense than anything reality TV has ever seen. You thought you understood the drama, the betrayals, and the backstabbing, but this is. The two titans of hip-hop and love, Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris, are being banned from reality TV. I promise you won't believe the astounding explanation for this. What may, perhaps, bring down these reality TV royalty figures? Was it a crazy scandal, a mistake that ended your career, or is it something more sinister and explosive than what we've been told? Spitting tea so hot it's nearly unbearable, there's a startling turn in the story that nobody anticipated. Imagine this after years of being at the epicenter of hip-hop's most celebrated love story. Kirk and Mendez are now the biggest misfits in reality TV history, but why would a show that based its success on their infamous moments, from family feuds to adultery rumors, drama abruptly turns away from them? Pay attention to what transpired behind the scenes that resulted in their startling demise. This scandal is more profound, more sinister, and more scandalous than you could ever imagine. Believe me, after reading this, you won't view Kirk and Mendez in the same light. You believe they were untouchable and would endure any scandal that was thrown their way. Really, after years of being at the center of hip-hop drama and love, these two are now dealing with their worst professional crisis, and everything is about to fall apart. Let's break it all down for Kirk Frost, the former fan. But how did it happen that two of reality TV's most renowned individuals ended up being banned from the entire industry? Since day one, Atlanta's love and hip-hop scene has revolved around this favorite and adored bad boy who became a father. He has experienced his share of scandals, including affairs, adultery, rumors, and even childbirth. The entire program was shaken by the mama issue, but Kirk always found a way to return to the spotlight, drawing viewers' attention with his erratic behavior. Finally, the man who made prison time seem like a stepping stone in his career is Mendeecees Harris. He established his reputation as a heartthrob with a tale of love and hip-hop, redemption that had viewers riveted to their screens. His marital troubles with Dandy Smith, his family turmoil, and the legal issues he encountered became mainstays of the show, constantly putting the audience on the edge of their seats. These two were the hip-hop power couple that everyone adored and hated. For years, their names were associated with turmoil, but things took a significant change. Per sources close to they are disclosing that it all began with backstage rumors. Kirk and Mendez's long-stretched relationship had now reached a breaking point. Producers who are often looking for drama to spice up the show spotted the tension as a chance, but they were unprepared for the ensuing explosion. It all culminated at a Love and Hip Hop After Party 1, which was just intended to serve as a little preview of the real reunion show, but behind closed doors, the tension extended beyond Kirk and it escalated into a full-fledged fight that would ultimately have a startling aftermath. Several sources have verified that Kirk and Mendez were not on good terms. There were reports of Mendez allegedly said in private that Kirk was a washed-up husband who only remained relevant due to Rasheeda's success. This didn't sit well with Kirk, who had. It was a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, and he wasn't about to let someone like Mendeecees ruin the legacy he had spent years building. The altercation allegedly began as a few expletive words were exchanged, but as tensions increased, so did the violence. Kirk, the proud love and hip-hop franchise veteran, was constantly on the defensive and was being accused of insulting, attempting to create fictitious feuds in order to remain relevant and failing to contribute anything new to the show. To make matters worse, Mendez had been outspoken about Kirk's previous drama, had the audacity to say, "I'm holding the show back," which was the height of insult for someone like Kirk. This came from a man who had just received out of prison. Kirk reportedly vented to his fellow cast members. Then, he confronted Mendez by himself behind the bars. Kirk was hardly relevant before Dandy picked him up. Scenes when they met backstage, the stage was set for an explosive confrontation that nobody could have predicted. What began as a heated discussion about Kirk was allegedly taunted by the show's direction and their respective roles in it, which quickly became personal. His haughtiness was evident in everything he said. Was the last straw, causing Kirk's jaw to clench and his face to twist in rage. Suddenly, the altercation got physical in front of the producers, crew, and a few other actors. Kirk, who was known for his fiery personality, pushed Mendes so hard that he staggered back into a chair before the punches started flying. It was chaos. Security hurried in to try to break up the fight, but it was too late. Chairs were falling to the ground, and glass was shattered everywhere. The damage was done both professionally and physically. An after-party that was supposed to be quiet turned into the year's biggest spectacle, and naturally, someone had taken out their phone. As soon as the fight started, everything was caught on camera and ready to be. Clips of the fight were posted online for everyone to see, and within minutes they went viral on social media. Fans were shocked because this was unlike anything love and hip-hop had ever seen. Fans swiftly took sides during the global broadcast, with some siding with Kirk and claiming that Mendes had no right to disparage a hip-hop and love pioneer. It was evident that no one was ready for the consequences of being the aggressor, and that's when things took a bad turn. If that's the case, Kirk isn't just observing. At the end of his marriage, he may face legal action, and Kirk might lose everything if Rasheeda decides to freeze their joint assets. However, Rasheeda hasn't filed for divorce yet, and you know what that implies. Kirk is most likely already attempting to patch things up behind the scenes, but is it too late? Or has Kirk finally gone too far for Rasheeda to forgive? This story is far from over, so you had better stay focused. The fallout from this will be even more severe than Kirk's previous apology tour. Oh, you thought that was awful? Oh no, sweetie. We're just getting started because Kirk Frost's life took a tumultuous turn after that incident at the event, and let me tell you, the consequences of this are absolutely devastating. Coming quickly because Rasheeda, isn't playing games anymore. Let me continue where we left off because the video of Kirk berating Rasheeda went viral. Internet fans were dragging Kirk everywhere, but the real question was, did Kirk attempt to correct the situation after the camera stopped rolling, or did Rasheeda? Ultimately, she packed her bags and left. Are Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship over for good? Here's what we currently know. Rasheeda left the event with a composed but obvious. According to witnesses, Kirk was seen chasing after Rasheeda in the parking lot, shouting her name and attempting to take her arm, but Rasheeda, oh sis, wasn't having it. Was said to have gotten into a black SUV and driven away without saying anything, leaving Kirk standing there looking foolish. However, this is where the juicy part comes in. Allegedly, Kirk was spotted drinking at Frost Bistro, yes, the restaurant he and Rasheeda owned together, after failing to return home that evening, according to people close to the couple. Kirk was reportedly on one when staff members attempted to calm him down at the bar. According to an insider, Kirk was heard saying, "She's overreacting. I didn't even do anything." Kirk didn't do anything that bad, but you were seen on camera shoving Rasheeda into a corner, pointing at her face and grabbing her. It gets worse because Kirk apparently started making some calls that night. Who is he calling? Oh, it's his longtime side woman. She tried to leave, but he let her go. Rumor has it that Kirk was spotted contacting and texting an unidentified woman. And less than an hour later, that same woman was spotted showing up at Frost Bistro. Now for the interesting bit. To make you scream, the mystery woman is said to be Jasmine Washington. Yes, Jasmine is the same woman Kirk had a child with in 2017. She was the one who essentially transformed Kirk, and Rasheeda's marriage turned into a public circus, and now Jasmine is back in the spotlight. According to several witnesses, Jasmine entered Frost Bistro, sat down at the bar behind Kirk, and the two of them were observed conversing intently for more than an hour. According to one witness, Jasmine even rubs Kirk's shoulder and whispers in his ear, and Kirk, laughs as if he doesn't care. Everyone, I have a question for you. Would you really be spending hours later with your side woman if you were just caught on tape insulting your wife at a public gathering because Kirk? Moving like if he didn't care about the repercussions. And guess what happened next? The paparazzi arrived outside Frost Bistro shortly after someone tipped off the press. It's time to see Kirk and Jasmine strolling out together, and the pictures are terrible. We're talking about Kirk giving Jasmine his arm as he leads her to his car, and Jasmine grinning as though she just hit the jackpot. By the following morning, the pictures were all over the place. The Shade Room TMZ Hollywood Unlocked, everyone was talking about it, and Savage Kirk Frost was already moving on. After Rasheeda was allegedly attacked, she was spotted with baby mama Jasmine, and Rasheeda, saw those photos. However, this is where things get extremely ugly since people close to Rasheeda are now asserting that she has been consulting with a well-known divorce lawyer. Yes. Divorce. It seems that Rasheeda is at last prepared to press the trigger, and Kirk should be alarmed because, according to reports, Rasheeda is not only seeking to damage Kirk's reputation, but also his money. If you are familiar with the Frost financial situation, you are aware that Kirk and Rasheeda's empire is Frost Bistro, Press Boutique, and several real estate deals are all essentially connected. Rasheeda, an aunt, allegedly has receipts and has been secretly collecting proof of Kirk's years-long financial mismanagement. We're discussing credit card expenditures at upscale hotels, wire transfers to unidentified accounts, and even payments to Jasmine and a few other unknown women. And now that Kirk's most recent scandal has surfaced, Rasheeda is said to have all the power she needs to remove him. However, hold on, because things get even more juicy. Sources claim that Kirk is now in full damage control mode. He has allegedly been bombarding Rasheeda's phone with texts and calls, even showing up to her store without warning and pleading with her to chat. But Rasheeda is not responding. Rasheeda has reportedly blocked Kirk on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp, according to sources. Kirk is reportedly in a panic because, guess what? Jasmine has begun speaking. Stated in an exclusive interview with a prominent gossip website that, they're about to blow up Kirk's entire situation. Even after Kirk openly stated he was attempting to mend his relationship with Rasheeda, Jasmine allegedly stated in an interview that they had been together for years. Jasmine further alluded to that Kirk allegedly channeled funds from his joint accounts with Rasheeda to assist Jasmine and her children, despite Kirk's pledge to provide for her financially. The worst thing is that Jasmine suggested that Kirk might have other side chicks that Rasheeda is unaware of. Meanwhile, Rasheeda has been keeping it a secret. Baby Kirk is about to endure the worst year of his life. Adorable on social media, no overt remarks, but Sis has been sharing some really mysterious Instagram stories. One of them features a blank screen with the phrase, "When someone shows you who they believe." Kirk, however, had a wider picture in mind. He wasn't only focused on his hip-hop and love career, he was also thinking about his entire brand. He had established an empire, and he wasn't going to. He allegedly told a pal, "I built my name and I'm not going to let it fall apart because of one mistake. If they think I'm just going to disappear, they're in for another surprise." They tried to remove me from reality TV history, but as the days passed, it became increasingly clear that Kirk and Menda's battle would not be as simple as they had imagined. The industry was turning against them. Their previously prosperous careers in reality TV were now on hold, and there were rumors that they were being completely banned from the show. The verge of collapse, several reports claim that no network wanted to risk Kirk and Menda's relationship since the altercation had done too much harm, and both men's reputations were now in. "This isn't just about a fight anymore, it's about trust," a key producer reportedly told us. "If Kirk and Mendes can't control their tempers, how can we trust them on another show?" It's a liability. What had previously appeared unattainable was now all too real, and the possibility that they could never again be seen on reality TV turned into a harsh reality. The networks weren't prepared to take the chance as the empire collapsed, but suddenly the news that would alter everything arrived. The rumors that they were being blacklisted were accurate, according to a source close to. "We're not touching them," other networks affirmed. "Because they're too much of a liability, they've made too many enemies, and we don't need to deal with another PR catastrophe." What will happen to Kirk and Mendes next? Will they be able to move past this and launch their own platform? Or is this really the end of their career in reality TV? Extended into weeks, Kirk Frost and Mendes faced the harsh realization that what had previously been an industry based on their names, appearances, and drama was now disappearing. Their power was waning, and their personal and professional lives were in jeopardy, and blacklisting rumors had been verified. However, the truth is that these two men cultivated their reputations from scratching and clawing their way up in the competitive reality TV industry. But this wasn't the end of their story. Oh no, it was only the start of a new one. You can guarantee that Kirk, who was upset and felt abandoned, wasted no time trying to save his career because Mendes was not going down without a fight. He had made a name for himself over the years on love and hip-hop, and to have it all taken away in an instant felt like a betrayal. Kirk reportedly told his closest pals, "I'm not going out like this," since he wasn't prepared to fade into obscurity. "I've left my mark on this industry, and I won't allow a mistake to undo all of my hard work. If necessary, I'll make sure people know the truth and respect me once more. I will fight for it." What was the next step for him? The answer was obvious. Kirk Frost was going to take charge of his own story. He immediately contacted his attorney and demanded that they file a lawsuit for wrongful termination. "This is about legacy and respect, not just the battle," Kirk allegedly said. "They have used me for years, and now they want to delete me, but that isn't happening," and it didn't stop. Kirk was committed to revealing the inner workings of hip-hop and love, and he said, "Without me, there would be no show." He acknowledged the influence of the media and public opinion. Wasn't going to ignore the setback while Mendes battled his personal issues. Being kicked off the show was one thing, but being banned from all reality TV was quite another. The profession was something completely different. For someone who had established his reputation through public character and television, the prospect of leaving the industry was upsetting, but Mendes wasn't one to give up. Like Kirk, he began to push back, even though he understood the industry and knew how to fight for what was rightfully his. However, Mandisi's strategy was different. Rather than going to court, in an emotional Instagram live session, Mendes gave his side of the story and launched a campaign on social media to show his admirers that he wasn't going down without a fight. Story with tears in his eyes. "I've been through a lot," he added, his voice breaking. "I fought fights no one even knows about. I've been away from my family, and now this occurs, yet I'm standing up, refusing to let this get to me, and refusing to be disrespected by anyone, both on and off camera." Of course, Yendi was by my side the entire time. During a live session, Yendi promised their supporters, "And we always come out on top. We'll make sure of it. I've witnessed him go through more hardships than this." But even though he was confident, Mendes was shaken since this industry had been the foundation of his existence. Without the drama and the cameras, who was he and what was there for him? One evening as he was sitting with Yendandi, the weight of everything hit him. "I don't know if we'll bounce back from this," he said softly. Yendandi, the strategist, wasn't one to mope. "Self-pity, we're going to make it work," she promised him, always looking to the future. "We'll find another way." Yendandi had obviously already started creating plans. She was aware that their next step would not be simple, but she also understood that they had something that no network could take away: their following, their fan base, and their will to. She boldly asserted, "We're not relying on anyone else. We don't need VH1. We'll make our own show," anticipating a time when they would be in charge of their own fate. Yendi stayed hopeful despite the fact that Mendes and Kirk's reality was taking hold. The entertainment industry had abandoned them, and no network wanted to get in touch with them. Not after the drama, not after the battle, and most definitely not after the criticism from sponsors and fans. Their emails were ignored, their phone calls were not returned, and the industry had essentially shut them out, but just when. They believed that things couldn't get any worse, but then the rumors started to circulate. According to an increasing number of sources, Kirk and Mendes weren't simply banned from love and hip-hop, they were being. "That's it," Mendes reportedly whispered to Yendi one night. "I'm done, no more TV." He was completely banned from reality TV, with no other series, networks, or fresh prospects. "I suppose this is the way it ends," Yendi said, but she knew better and wouldn't accept defeat. "No," she informed him firmly. "This isn't the end wheel. We don't need them. We have our fan following, our story, and we'll develop our own possibilities. If they don't want us on their platforms, we'll take it elsewhere." Something larger, the public was ablaze with opinions as Mendes and Yendandi were planning their comeback. Fans were split, with some claiming that Kirk and Mendes were to blame. Others were shocked by how swiftly the industry abandoned them, while one social media user wrote, "Kirk and Mendes made love and hip-hop what it is today. I can't believe it was tossed away like trash." They can't be shocked. "You can't put your hands on someone and expect no sympathy," said others, who weren't as understanding. Repercussions, another user wrote, deepening the rift. What began as a heated argument had now descended into a full-blown PR disaster. The harm was done, and despite the seeming irreversibility of the stain on Kirk and Mandisi's careers, The two men continued to battle for their position in the spotlight, knowing that they would need to change who they were. Although their love and hip-hop careers appeared to be ended, Kirk and Manissai were more than simply reality TV stars. They were brands, and they weren't going to let the world forget who they were. Kirk and Mendes were preparing their next move in response to the growing pressure, even if the industry refused to give them another chance. As Yendi stated, the world hasn't seen the last of them. Stay in as we follow the story of Kirk and Mendes, two reality stars who are determined to fight to the end. Do you think they will manage to make a comeback with their new? Please share your ideas in the comment section below. Remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for independent shows that flourish, or whether this is really the end of their reality TV careers. More updates on this developing drama. I promise you won't want to miss what comes next. The fight is far from over. And that concludes it, people. Kirk Frost's shocking story. And Menezes, two of reality TV's most recognizable personalities, are currently on a blacklist and battling for their position in the entertainment industry. The real question is whether they will recover. Or did this public controversy really spell the end of their careers? Do you believe they were wrongfully punished, or did they go too far? Will their next solo endeavors win back their supporters? Or has the reality TV chapter ended permanently? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you a member of Team Kirk or Team Mendes, or do you believe both of them went? To ensure that you don't miss any of the spectacular turns in this ongoing drama, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications. Breaking news. Believe me, this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss anything more. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned because we'll always keep you updated with the most thrilling and juicy tales available.